I'm Dr. Michael Bookhardt. Come join us at our newest clinic location at Good Faith Wellness Center. We provide compassionate health care for your entire family, from virtual visits to office appointments. We're committed to providing the best care. We accept all insurances, and we provide monthly wellness plans. Let's start your family journey to a healthier, happier life. Schedule your appointment today, and remember, true wealth begins with good health. Hello, I'm Dr. Michael Bookhardt. Come join us at our newest clinic location at Good Faith Wellness Center. We provide compassionate health care for your entire family, from virtual visits to office appointments. We're committed to providing the best care. We accept all insurances, and we provide monthly wellness plans. Let's start your family journey to a healthier, happier life. Schedule your appointment today, and remember, true wealth begins with good health. Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Telehealth Tuesday. This is your go-to podcast for insights on modern healthcare and wellness solutions. I'm Dr. Michael Bookhardt, your host, and today we have a very special episode lined up just for you. I want to let you know that Telehealth Tuesday can be viewed on multiple platforms, including our YouTube channel, which is DoctorBTV. That's the word doctor spelled out, DOCTOR, the letter B, TV, and also our clinic information on Good Faith Wellness Center on Instagram and Facebook pages alike. Please make sure to follow, like, share, tag, and most importantly, subscribe. Now, before we get right to it, I want to let you guys know all about my friend, Dr. Monifa B. Horton, DNP, FNP, board certified, okay? All right, so I want to let y'all know she made sure to correct me on that earlier, okay? Now, she is a board certified family nurse practitioner, doctorate of nursing practice with extensive experience serving veterans at the VA Medical Center in Jackson, Mississippi, specializing in primary care services and veteran care coordination. She's deeply committed to improving access, education, and outcomes for those who served our nation. Passionate community advocate, Dr. Bill Horton is an active member of the Junior League of Jackson, where she currently serves as co-chair of the Backpack Committee, leading initiatives that support children and families in need. She's a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, which means that, of course, she is my soror, through which she continues to champion programs that uplift, educate, and empower her community. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to get right to it, okay? Stand at attention. Grab your seat, stand and cheer. Round of applause for our guest tonight, Dr. Monifa B. Horton. Give it to her, ladies and gentlemen. All right. How are you feeling?
I am doing well tonight. How are you on this unseasonably warm day?
Oh, that's right, exactly. I don't know what season we're in here, in Jackson, Mississippi. You never know these days. I know they're probably running into the ER all over this place with all the folks that are having respiratory infections with this temperature change.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let us know, did I miss anything, Doc? Did I miss anything? Because, you made sure we changed it up. We want to get it right now. We want to get it right. So
No, you didn't miss it. You didn't miss anything. I will add that I am a wife and a mother of 3. I have a 5th grader, a 6th grader, and a college freshman.
wow, college, oh my goodness. One is in the pocket and 2 more are going to be in your pockets for years to come.
Absolutely. That's what they're for.
Does anybody want to go into the medical field?
I do have one that wants to go in the medical field, and she's well on her way. Going into her pre-nursing right now.
What? And she wants to do nursing? What?
Yes.
What? Okay. Do you think, what, before we get started with the questions, do you think we're wrong for, me and one of my business partners at my clinic, his daughter is at, what school is she at Southern? I know she's in Louisiana, but anyway, she's a pre-med and, wants to follow in her father's footsteps. And we all kind of joke about it like, I don't know about that, man. So do you think we're wrong? Should we not be discouraging? Should we be encouraging our children to do
I
this?
think I will say I have had those reservations as well. I'm like, are you sure you want to do that? Do you sure you can really handle that? Not that we want to put them in a bubble to say, yeah, that may not be the best place for you, or you never know. At the end of the day, our kids are resilient. Um, I believe. I believe if they know, honestly, I tell mine the real deal. Like, it's not easy. It's not, it's not all cake and cookies and milk and cookies and ice cream. It all won't be. Um, you won't have every day won't be a happy day. Okay. Um,
That's right.
there'll be days that you'll cry because you've done all that you could do, and you hope your patient got the information, or there'll be days that there's nothing that you can do, and you just have to trust and believe that you did the right thing at the right time and made sure that that patient was safe. And I said, and and that's where that little general psychology comes in, at where where you have to although we practice with our hearts, you have to also practice with the being in concrete. Say, okay, look, you've done all that you can do. If you've done your best,
Hmm.
pretty much that's all that you can do. I mean, it is. I mean, for instance, you can have a patient today that's that needs their wound care, but you send them to the ER and they leave AMA, and you're like,
Hmm.
I'm just trying to help you. I want you to keep your feet. I want you to keep your ankles. I want you to keep your toes. I want you to stay. I want you to stay well, and for you not to have to come see me in 2 days when I'm gonna have to send you back to the ER because there's nothing that I can do in the clinic.
That's
but
right. That's
but
right.
send you to the specialist that is their wheelhouse. Because of course in primary care we have everything. We take everything. We take on everything, and then that's when we have to say, okay, let's Spider-Man this thing out. You got to go here. You got to go there because I deal with the whole entire person. But honestly, telling our kids and telling those that are around, you try to be a positive mentor, a positive role model. Say, hey, this is what you really want, but let's get, I would say, uh, you know, um, quote unquote, nurses are known for eating their young or what have you, and then, you know, and it's like, okay, you may know what you started out with when you were in school, but now it's 20 years later. You got to come up with the times to say, okay, well, there are better ways that I can do a pick line. There are better ways that I can put in a Foley. I don't have to put in a Foley the way you taught it, but as long as it's clean and it's sterile, and we're making sure that our patients are not going home with infections that we introduced, then we're okay. So it's like you have to let them know, hey, this is the real deal. It's gonna be some people that's gonna piss you off. It's gonna be some lazy people around you. You're gonna have to be ready for that. You know,
That's right.
that's life. That's life. You have to be ready for the ups and the downs, and not let life kick you in the tail and you stay down.
That's so true. And it's interesting. You talked about putting in Foley's, and for those of you that don't know, Foley catheters, the catheters that allows people to urinate, like say if somebody's having trouble urinating, or you just might have one of those uh, nurses in the ER that doesn't want to be bothered, and they call the doctor to say, hey, can I put a Foley? It goes in up into the bladder and helps drain the urine. But you mentioned that, and it's interesting. I remember that, and with you being a nurse practitioner, I want to get your take on it. And again, we've got prepared questions, but you're kind of, motivated me about some things I've always wanted to ask. So, with you as a nurse practitioner, do you feel that some of the nurses are coming out too early, not even getting down to basics? Like being able to properly take care of patients, do simple procedures like put in an NG tube, a Foley tube, and they're literally saying, hey, as soon as I get out, oh my gosh, I want to be like these nurses making six-figure salaries and having all these fancy purses and shoes. You know what I mean? Do you feel like they're putting the cart before the horse?
I do. Honestly, I do. At one point when I first finished nursing school, I said, okay, I know that I need to get my feet wet. I know that I knew that I didn't want to be bedside all my life
Mm.
because I just didn't. I knew that God had a bigger purpose for me and a bigger purpose, better plan for me. And but I do totally understand that you coming straight out of nursing school and the only clinical that you learned was what you learned in those 2.5 years or either those 4 semesters. There's no way that you can there's no way that you can possibly know what to do in every situation that comes to you and then be ready for to actually take care of patients and think on your own or even be in a right now. Of course, we're in a state where your nurse practitioners do not have uh, we don't have the authority to practice on our own, where we still have to have collaborative physicians, but there are different places that does. But should there be stipulations? Yes, because no, I don't want a brand new nurse, you know, who just became a nurse and a nurse practitioner in all in the same 3 years, just because you actually did, you did the clinicals. But I mean, it's the twofold question. So there are some who, but of course you can't. I can't gauge this person's um, experiences, or I can't gauge this person's knowledge set, or how they actually was able to, go through the things that you go through in nursing school as well as nurse practitioner school, to say that, oh, I don't think you'll be able to, I don't think you'll be able to take care of people like that. But do I think that you should be at least 4 years in the trenches to be like, okay, yeah, this is not what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do the best that I can, because there are certain situations where, like, when I got out of school, I was scared to death.
Yeah.
I was scared to death,
Yeah.
and even though I had been out of school for 4 or 5 years, I was still scared. I was scared because I was like, okay, there's somebody else's life in my hands, where it's not that I'm listening to the doctor. It's like, okay, well, you are the person, so therefore, I had to grow up. I had to grow.
Right.
I mean, professionally, I had to grow up.
Mm.
But I will say that I am a nurse practitioner who's not afraid to ask for help. You'll have people.
Big one.
You'll have people who
There we
don't
go.
collaborate. Well, you can't tell me nothing. It's
Mm.
like, no, that's not how that works. And
That's right.
and therefore, and I believe that a lot of MDs think that, oh, well, we just want to practice all by ourselves and we'll never hear from our nurse practitioner. But then again, you have nurse practitioners who run in your clinic or run in circles around you, and you just come in and just do whatever you want to do, and we see that you're not taking care of the patient.
This is, I'm telling you, this is so interesting. I'm looking at our um, I'm looking at my family group chat. Oh, that's my cousin. Well, his mom, Aunt Carol, we affectionately call Aunt Carol. She was just asking me, what's the difference between a doctor and a nurse practitioner, and she was thinking about choosing another primary care,
Hmm.
down in Dallas, Texas. And she was saying, "Well, did I try out this nurse practitioner?" And so I was just kind of going over the things, and what it should be. But
Right.
like you said, there's certainly people that with Frank White, what's going on, brother? There's definitely people that nurse practitioner, like you said, that run circle around some doctors, and then there's good and bad, and then I've seen some terrible ones. So there's good and bad in any.
It's good and bad. It's good and bad, and true enough. Yeah, we as nurses, we have nurturing hearts and nurturing hands. So therefore, yes, we do have the time to, and we were taught to do education. We were taught to do prevention. We're taught to do to think safety, think
Mm.
look at the bigger picture. So therefore, when you do, get a nurse practitioner, and he's like, oh, okay, you really know what you're talking about. Okay, well, you really spent more time with me, and of course, to each his own. Those who want a male doctor, or a male, or a female doctor.
Exactly.
But then sometimes sometimes it's up to that doctor that say, okay, hey, there's nothing wrong with my nurse practitioner, or there's nothing wrong with the nurse practitioner. We do the same thing. I just have more authority to do more than this person does, or for this
Right.
particular disease process. It's not that, oh, well, it's a cut and dry thing where, okay, well, I don't know why you're trying to go to nurse practitioner anyway. So sometimes, and you get that in conversations where they're like, well, I don't know if I would want a doctor or a nurse practitioner. And then, you get some people say, well, what, my nurse practitioner spent more time with me and they told me way more than what my doctor has told me.
Hmm.
And then sometimes you get both. You may have the opportunity to have both. And especially in your specialty areas. In your specialty areas, you're going to have maybe the orthopedic doctor, but you're also going to have the nurse practitioner that comes behind him and say, hey, when he's not here, I can do what he did. I just can't do the surgery.
Right, right, right.
Or I
Yeah.
can't do the surgery on, any of your pharyngitis, any for your ear, nose, and throat. I can't do the surgery, but I can do the follow up. I can
Hmm.
make sure that you don't have to come back, and or I can take your stitches out, that type of thing. you know, or I can give you medicine when he's out of town.
Right, exactly. Well, that's what what I told her. That said, Frank said, he said, hey, Ma, I don't know if can you see those?
Hey, Frank, what's up, baby?
Okay, you see the comment. Thank, appreciate you joining.
Doing
Man, Frank, look, man, I saw your comments on there, Frank, about man, we had Jubu was in town, man. That was amazing. Jubu Smith was on about 10, 15 years he played with the legendary Frankie Beverly. So yeah, it was amazing. Frank, you must have been out of town, brother, because he made his rounds in the city. But all right. So let me ask you this. So when kind of piggybacking on that, let's go to one of my questions was going to be about patient motivation. You know, what does the first question was really what does primary care really look like when it's done the right way? And then the second part is, and how do you motivate patients?
When primary care is done the right way, then your patients see you those every 6 months, or they're not calling in every every 3 weeks to say, hey, you forgot this medication, you forgot that medication.
Hmm.
But when 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 you are the primary care provider and you have covered most of their needs, you have made sure that you have coordinated with specific specialty areas, and then just maintaining that continuity over a long period of time, and just developing that trust with your patients, and developing that quote unquote the office bedside care,
Hmm.
and making sure that your patients have their preventative health is up to date. Um, uh, Making sure that they contact you before they go to the ER, uh, or just making sure that any of their chronic disease management, making sure that it's not gotten worse, but whether it's stable or even getting better, so they won't have to continue to go to the kidney doctor because their diabetes is out of control. Making sure, but for sure, there's no really right or wrong answer when knowing that primary care is good, or going the right way. But if it's going the right way, then your patients are well taken care of. You may not, your family is well. Your family is well. You
Right.
are well. um, even with the holistic care of primary care, it entails the preventive, it entails the mental health, and you're actually treating the whole person, because you can't just say, okay, I just only do medical, and I don't deal with the mental health. But sometimes you have to touch on that, because there could be some mental health issues that's going on with your patients
That's
that
right.
definitely is contributing to their physical, their other medical needs.
That's one of the most important things is mental health, and especially as we approach it, we're right here around the holidays. A lot of people are, I mean, there's certainly good, positivity too. A lot of people are happy, and people who have healthy families and
Mhm.
relationships and all that, which is excellent. But unfortunately, we have a lot of people who are not
Who
as happy,
don't, who
or
don't, they
maybe,
don't have that.
yeah, sad, depressed. This is the first Christmas, and again, condolences to the Armstrong family. We lost Mr. Larry Armstrong, who was a true pillar in the community, our frat brother, amazing photographer, just amazing all around human being. And he didn't leave behind any children, but he has two loving parents who are still alive. And I know they're mourning him, and host of cousins, nephews, and friends. So condolences and big shout out to the Armstrong family, and also Aunt Lois Hamilton, who was my mother's best friend. And so all of these families are without their loved ones. So that which brings me to my point of a lot of depression around the holidays. And tell us, what are you seeing, especially around the VA and taking care of America's finest? Are you seeing a lot of that in the veterans? With
You
holiday depression.
you see a lot. Sometimes you see a lot of that with the veterans. You see a lot of that every day. Period. And then of course it gets harder during the winter months because there are some who may have fought wars like in Vietnam or Germany where they lost their best friend, or or they may have been a POW, during this time of the season, and then they're remembering all of these things, and and it does get hard because the economy is bad. Uh, their health is down. They may not be they're not able to get outside as much, so therefore they're not getting the vitamin D. They're not outside, soaking up all the good sun. But technically, right now it's 78 degrees, and you can sit outside and get a little serotonin
Hmm.
going on. But holiday depression is real. The seasonal depression is real. It's the overcast. It's the silence. Sometimes the silence is so loud that it can become depressing. Or I do see a lot of veterans who may have had family issues, marital. You may have some that are very lonely, and I just hope people don't forget about those that are in the nursing homes, because and sometimes even around this time of the year, this is the only time people come around and talk to them.
Yeah.
You know, and so just a warm hello, or hey, we didn't forget about you, that type of thing. Um, um, even I would say even a card, or a pair of socks. Let's say, when somebody thought about me, you know, um, I see it a lot, and it's like you have to talk them off the ledge, and you're hoping that there's somebody around them that can help center them to help them through these hard times. And while we try to save everybody, but there are just times that life can be so heavy that they do harm themselves or will harm others. And it's just I want people to be more um just more uh just aware aware of what's going on. There are times that we're rushing, especially like right now. I'm trying to go get a gift. I'm trying to go get a gift. But is that gift really gonna make it better, or is it gonna, are you causing more stress by trying to go get a gift, when you could simply say, hey, I love your family, I care about you. I may not have it all, but I'm here. I'm in the presence, instead of the actual present that you bought. It's just the hustle and bustle of this time of the year. People, they're just not kind, haven't been kind to each other, and you know being kind to say, when you see that vet, hey, thank you for your service. You just never know what that does to them. you know
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
my husband does that a lot, and then my kids have caught on to that. And so my son or my daughters will be like, and they see a vet, hey, thank you for your service, and they're like, thank you so much for that, because I don't even know you, little kid, but I appreciate me for what I did. you know
Absolutely. I want a big shout out here to M Bar, because we got Coach B44, that's Richard Bradley, on there with us. He said, hey,
oh,
classmate.
that's alum. What's that? That's that Murrah alum.
We'll put that up on there. Appreciate you joining us. Look, he doesn't know it, but I put something. If you're still on there on the Instagram side, Coach, we put on there, we need to do a joint event over there at M Bar. So I don't know if he's still on there, but he'll see it later on. Okay. All right, brother. So you're a big pillar of the community, man. We appreciate all that you do. Um, let's see, Demetrius is on there. Thank you so much for joining us. But yeah, so and like you said, when it comes to the vets, like yeah, anytime I'm on the airplanes or just out and about, yeah, if they have anything that shows that they served, definitely always try to thank them for their service. Which is so much more than what the
You could ever
current
ask for, right?
yeah, the current administration, Agent Orange, which because he didn't serve. But anyway, um,
We won't
so
talk about that. We won't talk about that.
we'll move on. What are some of the biggest? What would you say some of the? What? Actually, I'm gonna go beyond that question because let's go to what everybody wants to know about, which is slimming down, getting the waist slim and trim, and what do y'all call it? Snatched.
Get,
Uh,
get snatched, get snatched. Well, it's really about all of what you eat. I mean, what you eat determines how your and what you eat and how you move determines what your body gonna look like. So if I'm not moving, whether it's perimenopause or whether it's menopause or what have you, moving, putting what you're putting in your body, the type of things that you're putting in your body, that matters. That matters. Put your lifestyle modifications, your even family history does have something to do with that, your genes, your genetics. You can't change that, but what you can change is what you're putting in your mouth, how much you're putting in your mouth, when you're putting it in your mouth, and then the type, like I said, and your movement, your movement and your exercise period. I really, when I was a little girl, I would say, just coming fresh out of high school, like, why are these old people in the gym? They don't need to be in the gym. They already thin, and this is and that. And then, of course, as I got older, start understanding exercise science, start understanding sports and things like that. No, you have to keep moving because you only get one body, so you got to use that body wisely. You know, you can use it for foolishness, or you can use it for the betterment of yourself and the betterment of your health.
hmm
You know,
That's right.
or I could be eating McDonald's every day, or I could make the conscious decision, say, okay, you know what, let me take my lunch today. Let me get a salad. Let me make sure it's colorful. Make sure I got the right green beans, or carrots, or this, like I said, the stuff that you eat and how much you eat and when you moving and the time of the day that you're moving. That's what makes a difference. That,
Yep,
that,
I
that.
couldn't agree more. My lovely mother, Lily James, is watching. We've been trying to get her. I don't know if you have any, any additional experience with your chronic pain patients. It's always such a difficult thing, and then we kind of create some of the monsters when we have them on all these chronic opioids, and they end up getting nauseated, constipated, depressed. So she's been having a tough time. She just had a recent MRI and got a lot of things going on. So, are there any things that you like to share that you instruct your patients and the veterans to do when it comes with their chronic pain, immobility, and just not motivated to get out there and move around, get that vitamin D?
Well, fortunately, we do have programs here at the VA where we have therapeutic recreation, and which allows those that, and we therapeutic recreation. We also have alternative medicine. So we do have Tai Chi, we have acupuncture, we have dry needling, we have occupational therapy. We also, like I said, we also have therapeutic recreation, and one of our therapeutic recreational the chiefs. Um, she is very, very, Dr. DeWanda Elliott. She is very good. I love her. She makes sure that she gets to know our veterans. We have veterans who have had, amputations. We have had people who've had chronic pain, and we have been able to consult her service. She's gotten them on board to do the National Veteran X Games, or making sure that, even if I have a patient who is in chronic pain, they're able to actually live their life and have a better quality of life by moving, or just getting their mind off of what the pain is. What the pain is by moving, and then just and helping to motivate them to say, this is not the end all, but uh, there can be something else that can be done, to help you with this pain, whether it's uh, like I said, the Tai Chi, the acupuncture. And a lot of people don't believe in the chiropractors or the massage therapy.
Hmm.
It works. It works. All the alternative medicines, it works. It's not just there for just to be like taking your money. You get somebody like they just want to take my money. No, and sometimes if you don't believe in it, it's not gonna work.
That's right. That's right. I've been trying to tell my mom that, and she says, "Well, I'm hurting so much, I just can't get there till you're." My other business partner, one is an MD and the other is a chiropractor.
Hmm.
And I say, "Look, you just got to come on." She said, "Well, I don't feel like it. You can't. How are you going to try to tell me to come if I don't feel like it?" And I said, "Well, you don't feel like it. Then if you don't come, you're going to keep on hurting." So I try to say, well, this is very, very beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, and then of course, with that neurological stuff, the neurosurgery, all of that little stuff. Sometimes they probably can't do it, and sometimes that neuropathic pain, that channeling of that pain supersedes common sense.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah,
Because
it's a tough thing. See my principal Frank Terry's on there, frat brother. Appreciate you joining, man. But yeah, it's such a difficult thing. We're talking to the orthopedic surgeon. I mean, the pain management specialist over at Sports Medicine, and he was like, "Yeah, he said he didn't have too much data, but he said he didn't think that it would hurt or harm. But I know, like that the nutrition plays such a big role. The mindset and all that, and like you're telling therapy,
even water aerobics can help with that because
water aerobics, stand with.
you're offloading. I mean, I will say that I mean, even though in my young age I've had two. So it's like, what you gonna do? Are you gonna let this consume you, or are you gonna do something about it? And so I had to get in my mind like, okay, use what use the God given sense that you have. Do what you're supposed to do. Like use your heat, use your ice, use your TENS unit. You you take the medicine, but take it around the clock. Don't harm your liver, but take it around the clock.
That's
You
right.
and so I'm on a down slope because I've been going to my chiropractor. I've been going to I've been going to my physiatrist. And just saying, hey, look, if it ain't a nerve thing, then I can deal with it. If I gotta have another surgery, then we gotta figure out what we gonna do because I can't have another surgery. I don't want to have another surgery. Yeah.
You're done with that.
I mean, if if
Beyond that.
if it's to the point where I can't walk or that type of thing, or the herniated disc can't be repaired anymore, and I gotta do something about it, then I'm gonna do my best. Look, I'm gonna lose my weight around my midsection. I'm gonna move around. I'm gonna do the things that I need to do to help control my pain because I don't want to live a life every day to say, okay, well, this is my normal. Like,
Right.
nobody wants to live like that. Nobody wants to live like that. And it's either I'm gonna give up or either I'm gonna allow the three sets of eyes, my little children, or the four sets of eyes plus my husband, to sit there and watch me, wither away. To say, okay, well, she's always in pain, so she can't do nothing, or my mama can't even take me. My mama can't even cook for me. That type of thing. So it's all in what's here and the stuff that's going on in between those ears.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I hope you heard that. Hope you heard that, Mom, and to all of those out there
She
who
gonna
are
call. She gonna call you later on and tell you that don't be telling my business about that. Tell
oh,
that girl to stay
she's right up here. She's right up here. Yep, she's right up here. Yeah. But I say that because she's one of our biggest supporters, but I just hate, seeing her just, like laid up like that.
You hate to see that. You hate to see that, but it's like,
Yeah,
okay, let's do something about it. If it's to the point where you stuck in the bed, let's get you to a swing bed. Let's get you moving. You may not like it, but you'll like it when you can move around.
that's right. So, another question was, what would you say that, what are some of what health myths do you hear the most from patients, right? Some of the myths, like for one, a lot of people don't think that, I'm gonna put another one out there. I got my aunt, my mom's sister, who we've gone back and forth over at least 20, 25 years about her getting off the pork. And she said, well, I just, she says, I just think that I end up pray to God and he blessed when the chef said, well, no, some people can't do better and they just need to just let them go ahead on. It's not that soul food is bad or
It's
bacon.
the amount. It's the amount of soul food you eat.
That's what she was saying. So we had a really great dialogue. So y'all make sure to catch that episode.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the way I feel about it. I mean, I may have a 89-year-old in here smoking, and he like, well, I've been living this long, and I said, pick your poison. I mean, what can I say? What can I say? But hey, you had to pick your poison.
Yeah.
Are you gonna smoke till you die, or are you gonna drink till you die? Or, I mean, or what you gonna do?
A lot of time if they try to cold turkey, then that's when they pass away.
That's when they go down. I just say, look, in moderation. That's what I mean. Honestly, I tell them it's in moderation. If you a coffee drinker, can I get you to drink one cup of water every time you drink a cup of coffee? Let's compromise here.
There we
If,
go.
if you're a bourbon drinker, can I get you not to drink like the whole fifth tonight?
Right.
Or if you're a corn whiskey drinker, can I just get you to get one cup and not the whole pint?
Exactly.
Help me help you.
Help me help you.
That's what
You've been talking to them vets. You've been talking to them vets. I
I
can
mean,
tell.
and I talk to people who ask me questions like, I'm like, yeah, I may not have my own practice, but what is it that you can give up? What is it that you know that you can do better with your own health? Can you ask more questions? Can you actually understand what the hypertension is? Do you actually know what type of hypertension you have? You may have aldosterone, you may have something going on with your renin and angiotensin, system, even though that's more technical and stuff. But um, that's why when you eat the salt, that's why your blood pressure goes out the roof, because from your genetics of your family.
That's right.
And it's not just, oh well, my sister can't eat all the pork that she want to eat, but my daddy can't. Well, that means your daddy or your mama, your daddy's mama, your daddy, somewhere between that line, there was something going on with their kidneys. It was
Say
something
say it again for the people in the back. Say it again for the people in the back.
it's genetics. It's familial tendencies. If something going on with daddy and ain't nothing going on with you, that means there was something going on with daddy's mama or daddy's daddy, folks. There's
Mm.
something wrong with their kidneys. It's it
There
is
you
what it is. So therefore, and a lot of times now, we do have genetic pharmacotherapy. So now here at the VA, they have been using these genetics, your body genetics, not body. I'm sorry, your genetic makeup to give you the right medicine, pharmacogenetics.
That's right. That's right.
Make sure that your body can take everybody can't take the same medicine. Yes, I mean that you all throw it in the bowl and be like, oh yeah, let me get this like a little medicine salad. No, your this patient can probably take it, but that one probably can't, and that's why most of our African American men or women or what have you, when they take lisinopril, their lips swell up.
Angioedema, lips and they on the way. And that only happens to African American. I've never seen it in any other ethnicity than African Americans. And that's lisinopril, ACE inhibitor. So,
Mhm.
and it's on the $4 list.
It's
So
on
it's
the
a
$4
effective, it's cheap. But that $4 might cost you your life.
It might cost you your life. Yep.
Let's pause for the cause. I want to let you all know you are watching Telehealth Tuesday. We are here each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. We are here live with Dr. Monifa Bill Horton, FMP, DNP, FMP, DNP, BC, one, right?
That's
So,
correct.
yeah, all right. She got a lot of letters. There's a lot of knowledge in there. So we're here live to take all of your questions, comments. You can even give us some concern. I know that there are some people who have questions out there. We're live, so you guys go ahead and fire away. I've got my own prepared questions, but we want to hear from you. That's why we're here. If you want to talk about Ozempic, you want to talk about veteran medicine, you want to talk about auntie, your mama medicine, depression in the holidays. Hey, we've covered all that. So there's no topic that is off limits. So let's get right back at it. Telehealth Tuesday. So Dexter Mayberry, my good brother, He says, what I realize is that all of our biochemistry is different.
That's
There's
exactly right.
no one pill that fits all. And that's why, Dexter, let's give you a big shout out, man, for what you've been doing in the community. Looking forward to your next program. Please put it up there. Let us know where and when. I think you have a program for the ladies. Is it next month or February? Let us know, man. And he also has his own naturopathic company. So he's got different natural medicines and herb remedies for everything. So y'all check him out. So let's see. Let's talk about now. Was there anything that you want, before I go back with my questions, Monifa, was there anything that you wanted to cover in particular?
I know. I will say that if you don't have a primary care provider, you need to get one. You
That part.
need to not be shy of going to the doctor, because there are perfectly healthy men and women who leave this world every day and say, oh, they had this such and such going on and we didn't even know. You know,
Yeah. You know, that thing is so crazy because, and I won't go into specifics on the patients or the people, but we've got one in my family, and it's just so heartbreaking to hear. This is something that could have been prevented. This particular gentleman has prostate cancer, and sounds like it's probably about stage 4, metastasized, or in other words, spread,
mhm.
to the spine, and that's got to be very painful. He's not able to
Sure.
utilize his legs, and he's not, he's above middle age, but he's still at probably another 20 years at least of life, and it looks like it may possibly be cut short because. And there's certain things that nobody should die from. I say in this country, the good old U.S. of A: breast cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer.
And lung cancer.
Well, and lung, you can check for that too. But these other three are supposed to be routinely screened for. Lung cancer too, in smokers. There are some non-smokers that get lung cancer too. But yeah, I mean, these are just things that nobody in this country should die from because they're either they're preventable or at least detectable, and at the worst case, treatable.
Screening.
So
But then
don't
there,
give me
but then
that.
you have to realize there are some black. There's some. I'm just going to talk about our race. There are some black men who won't even say, "Hey, I'm having an embarrassing problem," and I don't want my girl to know. I don't want my dude to know. I'm just saying, I don't want my friend. I don't want nobody to know what's going
Yeah,
on with me. But hey, go to the doctor. Go ask somebody. Hey, am I supposed to be having hesitation, or I'm standing here over the toilet and I can't pee? What's the problem?
hmm
It's
exactly,
only a little bit coming out. You know.
exactly, and that's a problem. Or there's some blood coming out. In the toilet,
Or
like,
there's some
that's
blood coming out, right?
not normal, brother. Not normal. So
Right. Or I'm peeing and my pee look brown. What's the problem?
yeah, and then yeah. So those are just some things. And look, newsflash to all the men: we don't have to do a digital rectal exam.
You
In
do
other
not.
words,
I don't have to. I don't have to glove up. I don't have to glove up. I ain't going. I really ain't. I ain't trying to bend over either.
exactly.
It hurt my back.
Exactly. So we can just do that in a simple test of PSA
We can do a simple
during your
PSA,
blood work.
prostate specific antigen, and if you want to know what PSA means, yes, we can make sure that it is within the normal limits between 0 and 4. If anything above that, we go into the urologist.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right. Melanie Sanders is over on our Instagram side. What's going on? What is going on? That's your Sora, our Sora. But,
Yes, that is my tail. Hey, girl.
that's your tell. Okay.
That is my tail.
1908 was a great year. It's in the house.
It was. It was. It was a
Yeah. Good.
wonderful.
Good to see you, Melanie. We got to get you back on here, okay, in the new year. So we're gonna get you back on. Uh, Frank says, "What are on the Instagram side? What are some alternatives to lisinopril and metformin?" Great question. You want me to go? Or you want to tackle it, or
You can tackle that one. You can tackle that one.
I would say, Frank, the alternative. So there's the lisinopril, what we were just talking about, that causes the lip swelling and all that in certain African Americans. The cousin to that is like the ARB drugs, are like losartan. olmesartan, the sartans.
Mm-hmm.
So if it is somebody that certainly has been on hypertension or blood pressure medicines, and you're getting concerned, especially hearing what we're saying, I have not had those issues in any of my thousands of patients I've seen when they're on the cousin drug to that, which is like a losartan, olmesartan. And in terms of metformin does have a lot of side effects, especially GI issues and issues on the kidney. But for the right patient, right, it's
It
still the
works wonders.
yeah, it's still the guideline-based initial step when it comes to diabetes and newly diagnosed diabetes. But your question is some alternatives. If you were to get off that, depending on what your A1C and how bad your diabetic control is, how high your A1C, how high your blood sugar, it might be so that if your A1C is around 7 or 8, you may be able to come off that, and if it's causing issues, and really, really, really
Really,
change
really
your
tackle yeah,
diet.
really, really tackle your diet
Yeah, diet and exercise and weight loss. So
yeah,
I
because
would say those
yeah,
things.
I tell patients all the time, if it's white, it ain't right.
There you go. There you go. And there's some other ones. Some of the I call them the Flozins, but that's the class of drug. There are some other diabetes drugs that you can try, Tragenta, stuff like that. But see, those are now metformin and lisinopril are on the $4 list, so it makes it so attractive, especially in free clinics and clinics in the inner city area. But I don't know if you want to chime
Right.
in on any of that.
Yeah. It does. It does make it more attractive, but it was the gold standard at one point.
That's
And
right.
it kind of sort of still is because you can still do metformin, but we may have to give you a short acting metformin that's not going to cause as many side effects. Or we may have to, add metformin with another medication. It depends, like I say, it depends on what your A1C is. Like if it's anything over 7 or if it's anything like 9, 10, 13, you might as well be ready because we're going to have to give you some insulin to get that down.
Exactly, and that's another thing. A lot of people say, "Doc, I don't want the shots." I'll tell a quick, funny story. When I was working at a particular hospital on the South Side. Now, Dexter, thanks for putting that up. We'll put your the dates and everything on the screen. I was working at this hospital, and beautiful couples landed. They just got married. They couldn't have been more than 30. I think they were in their 20s. And so they're laying there all cuddled up. You know how it is with newlyweds. And so the guy, but he's there because he had newly diagnosed diabetes in his 20s. And his A1C was like 10 or 11, it was really high. So I said, look, and I did put him on metformin, and we put him on Lantus, which is a long-acting insulin, 10 units a day. And so we got his blood sugar down out of the 400s or so, I think 450. We got him down to like 160, and so he was very stable on that. So we said, look, we gave him diabetic education. You're gonna go home on this. So he goes, Doc. No, man. Look here, homeboy. Look here, cuz. All due respect, I ain't on God. I ain't going home on that and all that. And so, I probably can't even say it on here. I won't say the curse word, but she said basically the woman jumps up and she said, She said, oh no. I said, well, and I actually said the D word, but I said, well, if
If
you don't,
your mister ain't gonna work, that's what's gonna
yeah,
happen if the mister
the
ain't gonna
D
work.
word. Yeah, your penis ain't gonna be working. And she said, who? And she was like, the wife is who D ain't gonna work. And she jumped up, the devil is a lie. She said, so that's what's been going on. That's your problem. Just put his business out. She said, this thing here finna be over. I didn't sign up for that. You gonna take that shot, or that's it, or I'm gone.
You gonna take care of your health. I mean, and we have to get like that sometimes. We have to get like that sometimes.
Man, that was hilarious. But anyway, he did go home on the shots. Okay. Uh, Dexter says the Empowerment Black Women's Conference, January 17, 2026, at the New Jerusalem Church, the North Campus. You see the address there, $10 at the door on Eventbrite, $12.50 on Eventbrite. Yeah, that's with the surcharge.
Yeah.
Free health screening, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. That is January 17th, 2026, New Jerusalem Church. We need to learn how to grow with her in an understanding in her different life seasons.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that's good right there. That's good right there. And
Excellent.
yeah, and like Mr. Perkins says, what are your thoughts on the use of GLP-1 drugs? Yes, I
Yeah.
use them whenever I can because I want my patients to be healthy. I want them to, because the GLP-1 drugs, they work. They work if they're being used for the right reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. There's definitely side effects. There's side effects to anything. That's why I tell most patients, look, don't even read all that stuff. All the drugs are going to cause headache, nausea, vomiting, chills, night sweat, HIV symptom, back pain, throat pain, regurgitation, blood in your urine, stomach cramping. It's on and on.
But just talk to me if you own it. If you own it, say something about it. If it don't, no symptom is stupid. No symptom
Mhm.
is crazy.
That's right.
Just say, hey, um, GLP-1 drugs, I love how they work. Like I've had people who've been on Jardians and they're like, well, look, I've been taking this medicine and I ain't never had no UTI. I ain't never had no, no urinary symptoms. Come to
Right.
find out, you on Jardians and you didn't even tell me because you was at the other doctor. And and I will say, if you have two primary care doctors, let them know. Let them know what's going on. The left hand need to know what the right hand doing because you don't want to be stuck in the middle and be somewhere in the coffin.
That's right. You need to let that. You got to let people know because they'll be like, well, um,
Because you don't want to get in on.
they don't want to let us know. Say, well, especially if it's like certain illicit substances or drugs and people like crystal meth and all that. And say,
Mhm.
first of all, because people like us, we've been doing it a long time. You can look at certain patients of their teeth and all that. You can tell them certain people are on drugs, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes it might be a little old lady from the church, and I've had little old ladies that like to, that use either marijuana for chronic pain, or I had somebody test positive for cocaine, one of the church deaconesses. But anyway, it's always good to make sure to be straight up and honest with your doctor because we can't, or your provider, because we can't help you. If
We don't know what's going on.
we need to know. Just like what they say is three people to be honest with: the Lord, your doctor, and your lawyer. And hopefully, I guess in that order.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Oh yeah, Dex, I like that. A lot of times, I do have patients who are on the natural path, and and I tell them all the time, I prescribe water and walking all day long. I really ain't trying to give you all that medicine, but yeah, cinnamon and berberine and
berberine, yeah, cinnamon and berberine.
I love how those two work together, or work for, lowering, your fasting blood sugar and things like that.
That's right. Frank, if you're still on there, Frank Terry, if you're still on there, brother, there's the answer. I don't know if trying to see if I see him still on the Instagram side. I'm going back and
I'm
forth.
sure he'll come back, or if not, we talk and let him know.
Yeah,
Um,
well, definitely, man. You keep it coming, Dexter. Man, we hadn't seen you in a minute, brother. It's good to see you back on here. And yeah, man, this gentleman's a wealth of knowledge. We're gonna have to have you on here as a guest. Let's get that together, Dexter. I'm putting that out there in the future. I think we're gonna start back over with our guests in February. We're booked through the end of January, but let's get together in February with you as a guest, and that'll be after your program and for you as a guest here on Telehealth Tuesday. Um, Before we leave, looks like it's 7:56. We got a few more minutes. So you guys go ahead with rapid fire. Normally that's what happens, is people kind of pile on in there and ask some questions right at the eight
so
o'clock.
I will say this.
Okay.
If you're taking medications, or if uh, if you have any symptoms, any of those embarrassing symptoms, or it burns when I pee, or I'm having vision changes when I take this medicine, or if you feel like, oh, I'm just getting old, don't ignore those symptoms at all. Don't ignore 'em, because it could be the slightest little, that is, there's usually your body is giving you warnings. About what's going on with your body. It's just sometimes we just don't listen, or we just ignore it to say, oh, well, that was just a little, um, that was a little heartburn, or just, I ate the wrong thing, but I ate some mustard and it went down, or I stopped eating a little red sauce and it went down. I mean, it could be or I just have diarrhea every now and then, especially when you have people have the IBD and things like that. And so or if you have that unexplained weight loss or weight gain, like, yeah, your auntie said something to you the last time she saw you. Oh my God, girl, I just seen you 2 weeks ago. It looked like you done gained 20 pounds, and you at home can't breathe at night. Okay, it could be some congestive heart failure. It could be pneumonia. It could be anything. But if you don't tell somebody, nobody's gonna know. You
That's
know,
right.
or if you having, really strong snoring, or you falling asleep at the red light and you ain't even had no alcohol. You could be it could have narcolepsy, or you could just
Yeah.
have sleep apnea, and you're not getting enough sleep at night, and therefore you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain. Or let's
Mm-hmm.
just say you got a mold leak in the house, or water in the house, and there's mold in the house, and you can't never get rid of your cold or your sinus issues.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be embarrassed to say, hey, look, something going on. You
That's
know,
right.
um,
That's right.
you know, be in the group chat. The group chat talks like, hey, look, Derek, this what I got going on. What you think it is? Oh, I'm gonna tell you.
Mhm. That's right.
I'm gonna tell
That's
you.
right.
Okay, we need to get that checked out. Okay.
We need to. Melanie says, she said, Dr. M is pure excellence.
Thank you, boo. Thank you. But I will say that, doing that preventive health care, doing preventive primary care, what have you, it helps save money in the long run. Like, you're doing your screenings, you're getting the things done, the things looked at, screened after,
That's
that
right.
is going to prevent long-term issues in the long run. So I would rather know what's going on up front, and asking the questions and getting those screenings, getting the things that you need for your total health,
Mm-hmm.
instead of waiting until it's too far gone, and now you can't get life insurance because you got this going on, or you can't get coverage for this because this is going on, or you missed open season, and you should have got you some long term, or some acute care rehab, or acute care long term insurance. So, you know, I always, I remember the pastor said something a couple of weeks ago, like, seek wise counsel. Don't just live your life without asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
Ask the right questions, and if you don't understand what's going on, write it down. Tell them, hey, look, stop. Let me spell it. Spell it for me. Or let me write it down, so the next time I come in, or give me the opportunity to come in and write my questions down. And these are the answers that I want. These are the things that I need, and give me the opportunity to hand it to you, to say, hey, doc, this what I want to go over. Tell
That's,
me what I can do to keep me living here long. Period.
that's right. Period. That's right. Enough said. Dexter, final comments. Unfortunately, we've never been taught to listen to our body, yet every organ in our body has its own unique language. Stomach with nausea, heartburn, heart palpitations, and different things, so on. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's the thing, Monifa, you talked about people with snoring. And I don't know if I was at the barbershop or somewhere, and we were talking about health just last week. And there was a gentleman who said, well, yeah, all folks snoring, man, that just means you getting good sleep, snoring. I said, no, bro. I said, that's almost as big of a crazy, foolish statement as when people say there's a such thing as big bone. And, it's probably the third or fourth time I kind of debunked that on this program. There ain't no such thing. Your bones are the same size they were as us. We just eat too much. You just big. And so it's the same thing with the sleep apnea and stuff. Like, no, that's dangerous. I said, no, man, if you're snoring like that, like you just said, that means sometimes oxygen's not good getting to the brain. And that's why you're falling asleep during the day. And that's why we
Mhm.
cannot get your blood pressure down because of uncontrolled sleep apnea. And, can lead to cardiomyopathy, all kinds of like heart failure and troubles. And that leads to early death.
Early death. You dying in your sleep every time you snore.
Boom, boom.
Until you get that sleep study says, you be like, oh Lord. Okay. All right. You mean to tell me I stopped breathing 36 times in 6 hours? Yes, sir. Or 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea. Or, 106 times. Well, you have severe sleep apnea.
Well,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, look, and if maybe one other question comes on in, you guys let us know. Otherwise, I would love to let Dr. Monifa tell us where. Oh, by the way, I didn't. Normally I think we just jumped into it before you close it out. Would you mind telling folks, where you're from? I don't know if you want to throw in some shout
Sure,
outs to
sure, sure.
your
I am
food.
homegrown. I'm homegrown. I'm homegrown. I am a product of public schools. I went to school at in Jackson Public School. I graduated from the Murrah High School.
JPS.
And never in a million years did I think that I would be practicing medicine or practicing, healthcare right across the street from the school that I grew up at,
Hmm.
and still being in the neighborhood where I grew up in as well.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
but I when I finished at Murrah, I went to Holmes in Goodman, finished in Goodman, and went on to Alcorn because they I was given the opportunity to go to nursing school, so that's what I did, and um, went to Alcorn. I finished at Alcorn, went to UMC, finished at UMC, went
Mhm.
to University of South Alabama, and then I finished my doctorate of nursing practice at the University of Southern Mississippi, Hattiesburg.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm and now I'm back in school because I'm in the fifth grade. I'm in the sixth grade, and so
Oh, oh. I
so
said, wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
yeah. So I'm never gonna stop being educated and learning learning this new math or learning new ways to do dichotomies, all that kind of scientific stuff. I'm a little STEM nerd, but
Mhm.
I'm a forever learner, and I actually enjoy what I'm doing. One day will I have my own practice? I don't know because I I'm going on year 20, so 20 I'll be 20 years at the VA in March.
Wow.
I'm praying for continued blessings on it, and
Amazing. Well, we may need to. We'll talk offline. We may need to
yeah,
work some stuff out with
yeah.
good faith wellness.
But you know what? But I make sure I tell all my people I'm referring people. I'm referring to primary care.
Yeah, awesome. Please do keep them coming. And then, if would you like to let everyone know where, how you you can be contacted, or if you're taking new patients, or at your clinic, or what services you're offering?
Well, I only take care of veterans. Um, right now I am in a what we call a float position, so I kind of float around. So if somebody's out, I go here. But right now I am acting in a clinic here at the VA. We're always taking new patients, but I ain't gonna say you will always get me. But I'm here. I can be contacted through Facebook. I can be contacted through Instagram at Dr. PNKMP, Pink MP. Um, um, or when you see me out in the street, say, "Hey, Doc. Hey, Mo. Hey, can come here for a second." I'll make sure I give you some sound advice, but I will also tell you to make sure you talk to your primary care doctor because they're taking care of you.
Oh, that's right. Exactly. Well, that's awesome. We really thank you so much for coming on here with me. This has been amazing, and I'm looking forward to doing this again in 2026.
Okay, okay. I'll hold
So,
you to it.
all right, if you'll just stay on with me for a second, I'm gonna do my closing and then stay on so we can when we go off live.
Right. Thank you, Dexter. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um, Actually, yeah, the oxygen beats and oxygen with the beats, and then the herb, the ginkgo. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah, Ben Dexter, man. We're gonna get him on there. We're gonna get you on there in
Yeah.
February.
And I'm gonna tell y'all now. Let me tell you, good health is the key to your health. Your good health is is the brain child of your health. If you're
Yeah,
good on the right, ain't nothing else working.
that's my trademark. Need to, I mean, yeah. And go ahead and copyright this thing. Yeah, that's my trademark. Actually, Melanie saw Crystal, the mompreneur. She's
Mom,
that girl is a super mom. Would you say?
yeah, Mom Pernista, yeah.
Just,
Hmm.
yeah. And Melanie said this has been outstanding on the Instagram side. So thank y'all for joining. Um, well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another fantastic episode of Telehealth Tuesday. And you know what? I said give yourself a round of applause. And also Dr. Bill Horton. And so look, we're here each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m., God willing. If there's somebody that you want to see, please let us know. Drop us a line. If you want to be a guest on our show, we'd love to have you. There's no question that's out of bounds. There's no such thing as a silly question, at least on this platform, maybe some other places. But so if you have a story, testimony, situation you would like to discuss, just let us know. DM us, email us, goodfaithwellnesscenter@gmail.com. God willing, we'll see you always on a Tuesday. This is the place where we treat and discuss mind, body, and soul. And remember that true wealth begins with good health. See you next Tuesday. Hello, I'm Dr. Michael Bookhardt. Come join us at our newest clinic location at Good Faith Wellness Center. We provide compassionate health care for your entire family, from virtual visits to office appointments. We're committed to providing the best care. We accept all insurances, and we provide monthly wellness plans. Let's start your family journey to a healthier, happier life. Schedule your appointment today, and remember, true wealth begins with good health.